Hello and welcome back. So today I am actually just kind of brewing a recipe I've brewed in the past, and this is also a recipe that's been released in Chicago, so some of you might have been able to get your hands on it. This is my Blossom Tonic. It's my cherry Saison that's got coriander and rosemary in it. But I was talking to the pilot project guys, and here's a hint into recipe development. So we brewed the first batch, right? And we did it to my original specs, which makes it like an 8.5% beer. People don't drink 8.5% beers anymore. So we were chatting and it was like, well, I wonder if we can make it less ABV, but still keep some of the same characteristics. What I thought was, well, there's a freaking pound of sugar in there that does nothing but dry it out and raise the ABV. So why don't we just take out that pound of sugar and make it and see if it turns out. I mean, honestly, it's probably going to be even more fruity because it'll be less champagne. Like, this beer basically tastes like a rosé. It's kind of bizarre, and like everyone I give it to is like, this doesn't really taste like beer. It's more of a wine. But let's try to bring it into the realm of beer. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in to let you know that we are currently doing the Bring Flora Brewing to a City Near You fundraiser. So if you want to get some of my beer in wherever you are, go ahead and check out the GoFundMe link below in the description or in the video about it up there. And thanks so much. Oh, also there are some bloopers at the end of this you should probably stick around for. It's like the simplest grain bill I've ever used. It's 8 pounds or 3.6 kilograms of Pilsner, and then half a pound or 227 grams of white wheat. That's all that's in here. I didn't even bother waiting to measure it out because it's so simple and easy and whatnot. So I'm gonna mill it, and we're almost at our strike temp, which is gonna be 159 degrees or 71.6 degrees. Mash in. This is a 60-minute mash, mainly because I gotta take my dog on a walk because it's really early and she hasn't had one yet and she's slow. So let's get started. So I'm gonna mill this into flour, basically how I do everything. There's my flour. Okay, so we're at our strike temp. We're actually a little higher than our strike temp, which is 159 or 71.6 degrees. We've got 7.25 gallons in here, which is about 27.3 liters of water. I treated it with a Camden tablet because, oh boy, does it smell like chlorine coming out of my tap right now. All right, so I am just going to mash in. If it occurred to you that this seems like a really low grain bill, Sarah, are you making a session beer? No, this is still going to be about 6.6%. Most of the ABV actually comes from the 96 ounces of tart cherry juice, which also gives it its beautiful pink color, and most of its flavor. All right, I'm gonna turn my heat down to 156, which is going to be our mash temp. This is a little higher than I usually set it, and it's to make it a little sweeter, just to make up for some of the dryness I'm causing. All right, so I'm gonna set a timer for 1 hour. And I will see you guys back here when our mash is done, and hopefully we hit our targets. But who knows? This one's really hard to tell because you add all the sugar in the end, basically. So we'll see. Okay, our mash is done. So I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna turn my heat up to a boil. While I'm waiting for that to drain and heat up, I'm gonna measure out my hops. So our hop bill for this is 1 ounce or 28 grams of Mandarina Bavaria at the 60-minute mark. And then at the 15-minute mark, it's 1 ounce of Hallertau Blanc. So here's our Mandarina Bavaria. And our Hallerta Blanc. Gotta grab my second bag of that. We're still really draining out here. We're sitting right at about 7 gallons still. Our boil size was supposed to be 6.69 gallons or 25.3, so we're gonna have to do a pretty rapid boil to get rid of a lot of this liquid. I'm gonna go ahead and take my pre-boil gravity reading, even though it doesn't matter for much for this beer. It's just a habit. Gonna toss my hop screen in. Throw in my 1 ounce or 28 grams of Mandarin Bavaria, since we're at our 1 hour mark. Set my timer for not 1 hour, for 45 minutes. And our pre-boil's looking like 10.5. Actually, it might work out this way. I don't know. So our pre-boil is 1.044. Our pre-boil is actually supposed to be 1.040. So either we got a really good, oh my gosh, what? None of my pins ever work. Either we've got a really good conversion, or this is just kind of counting it how it should. All right, so I'll see you guys in 45 minutes when our next round of hop additions come in, and then we'll add our spices, coriander and rosemary, and then we'll add our cherry at the very end. It's already pasteurized, so you don't have to worry about contamination, and we just put in the primary. Okay, it's been 45 minutes, so now's our time for our 1 ounce or 28 grams of Hallerta Blanc. Throwing it right in there. And I'm gonna measure out my rosemary and coriander. I've gotta go harvest my rosemary because I use fresh and I just have a bush in the front, but coriander I do have here. Okay, so I need 10 grams of coriander. I don't know if it'll fit in here. Oh, there's 10 grams. It's not very much. Feels like it should be more. So I'm going to crush this up so we get all the flavor out of it. All right, and here is my rosemary. Don't know how much this is. We're gonna hope it's 3 grams. All right, definitely used too much rosemary, so I gotta save this for dinner. I guess I should actually strip the leaves, do it properly. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this in my little spice / coffee grinder, grind it up, and then we'll be ready for that 5-minute addition. So there's our little spice concoction. We've got about 5 minutes before our 5-minute addition. Okay, our last 10 minutes are up. So I'm gonna add my spice mixture into another hop screen. Set a timer for 5 minutes. I already connected my chiller. All right, our boil is done. Turning off my heat. I'm gonna drain the clean water that's in the hose and chiller. Start my pump. I'm actually going to take my original gravity while it's hot. I guess that doesn't make any sense because I've got to add the cherry juice. All right, I'm gonna go turn on my water so we can actually chill this. All right, I'll see you guys back here when this is all chilled down and we can transfer it. All right, so we're down to 72 degrees. All right, I'm gonna add my 96 ounces or 2.8 liters of cherry juice. And this is already pasteurized, so I'm not worried about putting it in cold side. What's funny is this is so dark until it ferments, and then it's like a bright, light pink. I'm gonna just swirl this around so I can take my original gravity. And I'm still decanting my yeast starter, so I'm probably not gonna pitch it for an hour. So to take my original gravity, I'm using the old tube method. So our original gravity looks like it is 12.6 bricks, which is 1.053. So our original gravity was supposed to be 1.045. So it's estimating that we're gonna get a 6.8% beer. I'll see you guys back here when my yeast is fully decanted and we can pitch. Okay, here's my yeast. I decanted a little bit off of the top. It did not like settle as much as I wanted it to, but oh well. This is White Labs French Saison yeast, and it was a 1,000 milliliter starter, but my yeast was old, so who knows how much is in there. I'm going to attach my spunning valve, and then I'm going to take it into my house where it is warmer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. This is 1 ounce of Mandarina Bavaria at the 28. Hi, Munchkin. Cops are not for dogs, Steve. Shit. What the